This week, I sent the 2 short scripts I've talked about in previous videos, which I said were ready, to a script doctor. The reason I did that was because even though they were ready and if you'd given me some money, I could have shot them straight away, no problem. There's still a part of me which felt like they weren't quite right. And one side of my brain says, okay, fine, you know, on the day you can play around with it with the actors. But you don't really want to be thinking that way, especially as an indie filmmaker where time and money are very, very tight. So, excuse me, I thought, and I always had this niggling feeling, well, I have, about those 2 scripts and some other scripts, that there was more that could be done. And with the second of those short scripts, a longer one, my good friend and I, who were working on it together, we kept trying different things and going backwards and forwards with ideas, and I think we were running around in circles a bit, and we both admitted that at some point and said, we just have to stop. And again, it's still good. We could have shot it, but I thought there's something more that's needed. And then I started thinking about the next feature film I want to make. Well, there's a few of them, but I was focusing on one and I was looking at it and I thought, you know, there's probably some things that need tweaking, and but, you know, I thought, you know, I'll organise some rehearsal at some point and we'll be fine. But that's kind of wrong on a number of ways. First, who says I'll get rehearsal time? Second is, you know, it's the equivalent of saying we'll fix it in post, which you never want to do. You want to be ready and have things, rather than fix in post, you shoot it as it's going to be. And the same thing applies to the script, if you see what I mean. Saying, well, we'll tweak things when we rehearse or we'll fix them when we're filming. It's the same idea. So I really want to be able to have the script as tight as possible. Yes, it won't be perfect. It never is. But when I thought about the feature, I knew that there were areas which I didn't feel right about. I couldn't put my finger on it. I knew there was one area, dialogue, which is the thing that started me down this path towards the script doctor in the first place. The dialogue in this film is, in the feature film is, well, the script was written by me, and then another writer came in and really, she did a fantastic job of knocking it into shape. But it feels to me like we've got a script where the characters have 2 voices, hers and mine, from the writer's perspective, if you see what I mean. So I wanted to get that smoothed out. That was my motivating force to contact a script doctor. And when I started thinking about it, about some feedback I'd had about the script and little bits and pieces of, you know, where to place things and justify things and make sure things hook up, all that kind of thing, I realized, you know what? The whole script could use a script doctoring service, which is essentially a rewrite. And that rewrite may be substantial, or it may be just tweaking the things that need tweaking. But either, I mean, is good, and both, it's needed. I realize it's needed. You get your head into scripts and your ideas so much that, you know, you can't see the forest for the weeds. So I realized I need to step away, because I've had this script for 10 years more. And I know that, well, I've come to realize that this is something which happens with all scripts I'm involved with, and maybe it's for every writer, but excuse me, is that you get into it, and after a while, you're so comfortable with it or so used to it, you stop seeing things. Hopefully they're only little things, but sometimes they're big things and you just don't see it. And you need that fresh perspective to knock things into shape. So that made me think, well, not just this feature, there's several other features I've got lined up. Could probably use the same service. And I thought, well, to do that service is not cheap, which is fair enough. And I thought, excuse me. And I thought, well, how the hell am I going to pay for that? One. And two, how do I know I don't want to jump in with a chunk of money and realize that I've got the wrong person? Because, you know, like everything, it's a relationship. And you want someone who's not agreeing with you, but compatible with you in the way you work and things like that. So, because I want to have a relationship with someone who can help me with all these scripts and any scripts I have in the future. So I thought, oh, I can't afford to jump right in with that. And then I thought of the 2 short scripts. So I thought, why don't I ask this lady to have a look at these 2 shorts, you know, give us the script doctor service, which is the rewrite service to whatever degree, or, you know, whether that's small or large, sort out things which aren't working, because I know in those short scripts, as I mentioned at the start, there's some things which need tweaking. And this is a great way in. We get to work with each other, see if we like working with each other. I get to see what she produces, and it's a much more cost-effective way of introducing myself to this service and this lady, and getting those 2 shorts as tight as I possibly can. So, I think I went off a couple of different little tangents there, but hopefully all that makes sense. Let me just check my notes here. Oh, look how dirty those glasses are. The weather here has got cooler, which is nice. Sunny but cool. It's perfect for me. The brain just seems to stop functioning properly when it gets too hot. It's probably age too, let's be honest. Okay, what have I got here? Yeah, it's a great time to use this kind of services when you think you're ready for pre-production, or to hand it over, show a producer or someone like that, or even just ready to shoot yourself. I think it's good to have that external eye come in and look at your work, because not only you, but members of your team can fall into that, and it's human nature, fall into that feeling of familiarity with the script, so that you stop seeing things. Yep. And the script is so important. You have to get it right as you can, because in indie filmmaking, you don't have time and you don't have money. So when you start to go down the pre-production path, which is where you start spending money, you need things as tight as you possibly can in the script. And you want to be able to go back. In indie filmmaking, you can't rely on a lot of things because you haven't got the money to lock things in all the time. The one thing you've always got to have to go back to is the script. Because even if you stick your phone, not even a film camera, stick your phone on a tripod and put a chair or two in a room and sit your actors down and shoot the whole thing like that. If your script is solid, tight and good, then you're going to have something. Another opinion looking in. Yeah, fresh eyes. Yeah, and it just, all of my scripts, as I said, they just, even though I could shoot them tomorrow, I know in my heart that they could be better. And you have to be honest with yourself, even if it means more time, more money, before you can even start looking for money to shoot, then, you know, you've got to be honest with yourself, because a better script is going to make things easier for you. It's going to make things easier for you to find a producer, easier for you to attract cast, easier for you to attract crew. So the whole thing becomes easier if your script is good. I mean, it's never easy, but easier. So what sort of things would a script doctor do? Well, they're going to do things like, as well as just that fresh eyes, fresh perspective, which is really important. They essentially make repairs. It's a bit like sending your car to the mechanic. They might tell you you need a new engine completely, or they might just, you know, tighten a few bolts up here or there, or change your battery or something. So it just depends on script to script, you know, how much work is needed. Structure and pacing. Well, structure and pacing, dialogue and tone, character arcs, they're probably the big things. Oh, I better hang on to that, just in case I've forgotten something else. And for me, I mentioned in the past, my strength is ideas and the big picture and knocking out 70 pages or something. And then I really need help, to be completely honest, because it's these structural things like the dialogue and the tone and pacing and stuff like that, which, you know, I can make a decent fist of, but if I'm honest, I know there's people that can do these things a lot better than me. And, you know, if I can write 70 pages or 80 pages and use a script doctor service to knock everything into shape, that's pretty much ideal for me. But of course, it's the old enemy comes into play. But, you know, just establishing that that's a good path, excuse me, a good path for me to go down is important. And just realizing it myself, that just knocking up a script and trying to shoot it is probably not the wisest thing to do for me. If you're a better writer than me, then maybe it is. Well, even if you are a better writer, I think it's good to have that outside view. Even if you just get a script coverage report, which is not making all those changes, just highlighting the changes that they would suggest. To do something else completely different. Yeah, I think that's it. So that's the path I'm on. Yesterday I sent yesterday I sent the 2 scripts to this lady, so she'll have a bit of time to go over them. And I'm going to be really curious to see what comes back. Excited too. So, because one of the short scripts is as well as being a short, is an idea which is I'm working on with someone for a feature script, so it kind of makes it doubly interesting. Yeah. What else? Quiet work-wise, summer, so to be completely understandable. I don't think much else has happened this week. I've been kind of focused on that and thinking about how to get some money together to be able to do, to get the scripts in better shape, basically. So that's what I'll be doing next week, trying to work out how I can pay for script doctoring services. Another week, another challenge, but it's life, isn't it? Thanks for watching. You can see Kin Spirits on Tubi, Foursome and Relay. If there's any more platforms come up, I'll let you know. And I hope to see you on the next one.